So game 2 will be along the way. Do you expect anything different out of Ullr or SoaR this game?
I don't know, because Ullr are continuously going for these very either aggressive early game compositions with like the Raven, Osiris, and Solo, or these pick-oriented where they utilize, Janus global as well as a jungler like Serket that can just kind of kill one person very well. And they don't focus more on like the team fighting AoE style. So I'll be interested to see if they continue with going for that more pick-oriented comp or go more for the team fights that we see SoaR really love.
I think we'll see Janus again this game. I want to say that because I don't think the best had a really bad game on it, but Susano caused him a lot of issues.
I mean, you look at their comp, and their comp really wasn't like they wanted to get kills early with Serket, but Baskin was very mindful of any time Serket was in the jungle or missing on the map. He didn't overextend himself. He played very safe and didn't get picked off. And I'm going to tell you a little story, right? You already know this, but the viewers at home might. Baskin's first set with Cloud9, right, when he moved from Denial, right, when he became, okay, this guy's a legit player, he got camped by, I believe it was Weekend and Soul Lane.
Okay.
On a Serket. Killed him 6 times in 10 minutes. Baskin knows how to play against Serket jungles now. He's very aware when Serket's in the game. And I think it was the same thing where he was Vamana as well in that matchup.
Different change from SoaR this game round anyway. They drafted Raijin first. I believe last time they took Susano at this stage, but they're going to give that option available to Ullr now and see if we'll see djpernicus.
Yeah, one thing I had a question about Snoopy is we know his hunters are good and he can bring them into the mid and make them work, but how good are his mages? And I wouldn't really say he had like the best game, but he had a really solid performance, especially against characters that dove him so well.
It was a solid performance from a Raijin as well as we know he's got a Vulcan. They're the two that we definitely know he's got 100% in the bank available to him now. Ullr, though, going to have a nice long think, and they will take the Bacchus this time around for themselves. Aror will be playing that one.
And they could look, I mean, they could just go straight into the Susano here. Ao Kuang is also available, but Ullr don't want to pick it up, at least in this situation, which means Ao Kuang is still available for SoaR if Andy wants to go into there.
Very good option for them as well. They've got plenty of time to think about that one, though. I say that, but at the same time, like, if they want to pick it, they pick it now, as it get counterbanned, right?
I mean, they're just going to go Thor, though. I mean, this is the tried and true. Thor comes in and out of meta, but one thing is always true is that he is never bad. It is never a bad option to pick Thor. He brings so many just dynamics to your team, whether you want to set up for ganks, whether you want to use him as peel, whether you want to use him as split pushing, right? Because he's very hard to kill if he picks up a teleport, which andinster does love to do, especially on, like, andinster Thor TP. I think it was the first one to start doing it on junglers.
He had 104 games last split Thor, and he won at 56, the most winningest god in the SPL, so not surprised to see it back. However, Freya will be joining him as well now.
One thing I'm going to talk about this Freya is the potential for Witchblade. We saw it earlier. I believe it was out of Venenu, right? For Allegiance, I think he played it. Witchblade is very strong right now on Freya. It was already a fringe item that a lot of people had picked up, last season when Freya was very in meta. And now that she's back and Witchblade's seen a buff as well, we're starting to see these first item Witchblades, which makes it very hard for a jungler to kill Freya and even an opposing hunter.
That's true. It just reduces the amount of boxing potential. Sobek and Sylvanas banned out by Ullr. Sol has been taken away by SoaR, and they're looking for one more ban. Probably a Chronos after seeing so much on Zapman, but no, instead it's going to be the Jing way.
And I mean, Zapman just farmed so efficiently, right? He was, despite SoaR winning clearly in the objectives and the early game team fights, Zapman still had over 1,000 gold lead on Metyankey at one point, but it's still Zapman, so he's going to bring out the Ullr here.
See what he can do without this game round as well. And good point, because I mean, the aggression we saw out of Ullr at times was led by Zapman going in there, finding himself a couple of kills for the side. But Amaterasu for the solo laner this time round, and then to round that out, is going to be, well, they need a support player here for Jigz.
I mean, Sobek is banned away. There's a couple options. You could go Athena, which has a lot of guaranteed just setup potential. But the Khepri in this spot is going to be really helpful for Raijin and Freya.
And especially if you've got a team that may dive in with a Bacchus and a Susano, you've got the Khepri to potentially revive them from danger.
I mean, this is also just Jigz's iconic god, right? Jigz and Ionic have a very similar playstyle, although I think Jigz has evolved significantly since then. Jigz is typically a very peel-oriented player where he focuses more on keeping his team alive, and we saw that a lot with his Khepri play last split. We saw that significantly come out from him and SoaR Gaming. But he kind of made this transition into the more aggressive supports like Bacchus at the start of this split. So going back to where he's just focused on keeping his team alive and let them kind of play to their play styles, it just works really well for SoaR.
A little bit more control coming out from Ullr in the solo here. Divios as well going for the tear this time round. As we go into game and have a little look at how things are going to begin, we see a Transcendence coming out from Zapman, not a real shock there. And in terms of relics, nothing to be surprised at so far.
And that's one thing that Ullr had trouble with in their last composition, is getting off a lot of teamfight damage. They were very good at like saying, hey, you, Baskin, we're going to dump everything and you die, right? They just had the Circuit. They had the Janus, who could be good in team fights, but really struggles when his team's more, you know, individual pick-off focused. And now they've got the Susano on their team. They've got Ullr, who can find these very high damaging ability casts in these mid-game team fights. And also they've got Bacchus, so just immediate intoxicate.
Very surprised by SoaR not taking any wards at the beginning of this game and placing them down. It's all on the side of Eager. And obviously you saw Andy there was stood right next to djpernicus, who dropped that ward down, so they know exactly where they could be. And I think that's why SoaR are trying to make a decision about where they want to start this game.
This might be the first game I've ever seen in a long time where both teams didn't place at least one ward. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a team not place a ward in a long time. And I think this is just SoaR know that Eager aren't going to invade them, right? They feel like the Susano tier isn't going to put pressure on them. Tier a little bit lackluster at level 1 compared to his level 3. And so they're just going to save the 150 to 200 gold that they would normally have to spend on them.
Okay, so Speedbuff's going to get taken uncontested by both teams now, and then more than likely head over to both their blues to see if Eager are going to look at it. Both mid laners, because actually see TheBest has got to mid very, very quickly there over the dual lane of SoaR. That's a lot of advantage.
I mean, it's the Wrath picked up by Aror here, and this is going to be an option for Eager to try and force early gold furies. If you have a Wrath, it's almost guaranteed you should be looking for them, just because it does about 1/3 to 1/4 of the gold fury's health pre 5 minutes. It's this massive damage increase and almost guaranteed.
Oh, Aror's in a lot of trouble over on this left-hand side, but he will be able to flop away. Zapman committed heavily to try and support him there, and now because of that, he's going to be very careful himself. But Pulse is back up, and Zapman slowed again. Jigz giving chase here, going to put a bit of damage on. No reduction for 1 more second. There we go. And there is the follow-up from Metyankey. No Pulse available. They're just trying to force a purification, if anything, and they don't get it.
Oh, Met, though, staying for a while, and Zapman, a very rare miss from him. I mean, that was guaranteed and lined up, but Zapman can't connect. And that's not something you ever talk about with Zapman and Ullr, right? He's going to hit those almost every time.
Now, Metyankey under pressure. Gets hit by the axe from Zapman as well. The stun follow-up from Aror is not going to be available because he's not got the chug, but Zap will still pick up first blood thanks to an early rotation.
And that was just full focus into that dual lane, right? SoaR were not aware of the rotation from djpernicus. He's level 2! Why would you expect a level 2 Susano to be in your lane? And you just get so focused on that team fight because they had a very close potential of killing Aror and even Zapman there that they didn't notice. The jungler was missing off the map. They were a little bit too pushed up looking for the kill as well, and smart play by DJ.
I don't think it was just that as well. TheBest in mid lane, I think he gave him a portal through the Gold Fury because they were going for the left-hand harpies there as well. So he managed to cut through some of the angle and then get there even quicker than they saw they were missing. SoaR couldn't call it because they expected him at the left-hand harpies.
DJ didn't get the kill though, so he actually is down in both experience and gold to andinster right now, putting a lot of time running around the jungle to set up that kill, but it's very important kill as well, right?
Yeah,
because now Zapman and Aror
early, thank you very much. You'll be very happy with that.
And that's one thing you have to worry about too on Metyankey is once he picks up that Witchblade, it's going to be very hard to secure the kill on him, but maybe they can find a second here.
They're really looking for pressure onto Metyankey here. You can see Jigz trying to body block as much as he can. The pulse damage and there's archers involved too, and Metyankey's doing a good job of staying alive. The archers come into play. Zapman falls down. Jigz is going to get another kill as well. Meanwhile, Baskin managing to pick up a kill on the right-hand side as well.
That is absolutely brutal for Eager. Not only does Divios just get soloed completely by Baskin, but also the full minion wave. And I'm going to go to Aror on that one. Aror Wrath right after the stun. The Wrath stun lasted like 0.2 seconds because it was DR'd completely, and he should have saved that for a more guaranteed longer stun later in the engagement when Metyankey was at very low health.
Remember, they were both pre-level 5 as well, so those archers, there was 3 of them just whacking away on them during that fight.
Yeah, it was like a full wave.
Thunder Crash on Pernicus. Now the drums of war sounded, and Pern in a lot of trouble here, unable to escape, and Andy goes to the sky.
Ooh, djpernicus had purification, but I don't know exactly what happened there.
I think Andy thought he was out more than anything to be ulted early, just in case, so he could actually pick up Pern if he did get back to safety.
It's possible. No, but Pernicus, oh, Basket solos Divios again. What is happening in this lane?
Big lead advantage for SoaR, and that is actually an interesting matchup as well. Amaterasu versus Tyr in the early stages.
Three major mistakes coming out from Eager. First off, Aror uses Wrath on Metyankey, who's completely DR'd, right? So it's a very low stun. Sets up for a double kill for Met as well as SoaR. And then in the mid lane, DJ doesn't use Purification against a Raijin Susano ultimate combo. And then Divios has been soloed twice. Like, this just can't happen for Eager.
Well, while this has been going on, the speed buff and the blue buff were just stolen by SoaR in Eager's right-hand side of the jungle there, as you see. The pressure onto Divios from Baskin just created all that presence for him to be able to put into the jungle and steal away the next rotation.
And this is much different than game 1 right now, where, you know, SoaR got off to a lead lead. I mean, they didn't get off to a massive lead, but it took them about 15 minutes to start to establish themselves, and they are already established right now. Baskin level 7, just going to be able to continuously put Divios under this tower, and I'm assuming it's just going to be the same as game 1, where it's like, I think Baskin should rotate, and Baskin's going to tell me, no, I'm just going to keep killing Divios and split pushing. Well,
that 3.5 minute fight just went so big in SoaR's favor. They got a kill in mid, they got kills in duo, and they got kills in solo.
Gold Fury. Oh, actually trying to utilize this Wrath right now. Eager, I think they're full committed. And SoaR have no idea. Snoopy actually started to walk over, but then immediately backed off.
I mean, could they stop that anyway?
They could have stopped the Wrath. Well, no, the Gold Fury is 100% going to go the way of Eager here. But I mean, Aror was, you know, half health. They could have looked for some kills. Unfortunately, their ults were down for another couple seconds. So great. I mean, that was just a really well timed by Eager. Knowing those ultimates were still down, they would get the Gold Fury for free. I'm just surprised that SoaR wouldn't contest and try and get kills.
Well, it helps them out for now, but now that gold lead, you'll see it chip back
away.
I think
Met found it out. I think it was just a
snuck.
I think it was just a snuck Gold Fury there.
Especially if Met's just well around the corner, as well. 800 gold lead then in favor of SoaR still after that Gold Fury. The experience lead at 2,000, 5 minutes in. And so far, everything's just slowed down for a second ahead of time, as it was mainly Eager in the duel lane going aggressive, and it got answered so quick.
And Zapman's still level 7, right? They did get the first blood onto Metyankey, so even though Metyankey was able to recover a little bit, this is still a good position for the Ullr to be in. I mean, the main problem is just like game 1, though. It's going to come down to Baskin versus Divios, where Baskin just has this massive lead.
Pressure. Divios still being pressured out on the right-hand side, forced to Lawbringer under his tier 1 tower over there.
And either djpernicus needs to help Divios out, or he needs to start trying to set up more kills in the mid in the dual lane, because at this point there's very little Divios can do. He's so far behind, doesn't have his breastplate online yet. He's going to be teleporting back in, but it's really the experience
Pernicus is ganking left-hand side here. That's why Zap's gone aggressive and trying to force Metyankey into an awkward spot. Metyankey happy with the trade and maybe able to solo this on his own. But the ults are coming into play, and that last hit won't be enough, but Pern's there for the cleanup, and the rotation is here from SoaR, just a little bit too late.
Zap staying around, gets the assist as well, and another kill, his second kill on Metyankey. This is not what you want from a Freya. I mean, this is her most vulnerable time. So if Divios is going to be losing solo, you better win duo, and that's what DJ's making sure to do. Put pressure into Metyankey. Don't make him comfortable. Don't let the Freya get to full build.
And it wasn't even full pressure from Pen. It just gave Zapman more confidence there.
Zap probably could have just soloed that, to be honest. Zap probably could have soloed him. I mean, he took every single ult shot from Metyankey. He easily could have jumped in place there, and I don't think Met had his cooldowns either. Still, though, it's nice to have the guaranteed kill.
Go into the right-hand side one more time towards Divios here, but he was a little bit too early there.
Man.
And so he doesn't manage to find the ult, but now Tyr steps forward again. Divios could be pressured one more time. Baskin just continued to poke him under the tower.
I'm really surprised that SoaR aren't putting pressure onto Divios' buffs, right? They're actually, instead of using their ults to just guarantee steal the speed in blue and force a fight on Eager with their level lead, they're actually just trying to kill Divios repeatedly. And by now he knows what's happening. He's escaped the last 2 ganks, and Eager are going to be able to keep this game relatively close by farming up their objectives.
7 minutes in, Baskin just continues to follow along with him because he's working breastplate of Valor so far. He managed to get 2 solo kills, and there's the silence that comes into play against the Tyr to try and stop him.
And Divios is fine now, right? When he was level 4, 5, 6, it's pretty dangerous, but now that he's got his power cleave max, he's going to have this massive heal. And Baskin also, I mean, he's got heals from switching stances, so I don't think either of these players are really going to be in a bad position anymore.
Well, you mentioned about helping out duo lane a little bit more for Eager as their sign of life because Divios is behind. Well, you see that from Zapman being given the red buff here on this left-hand side as well to be able to contest a little bit more and can apply a bit more pressure to Metyankey.
And he's got he's got Transcendence finish now. It's working on stacking it, looking at the boots as well. And his abilities are just going to hit very hard. Ullr recently had a buff to his bladed arrow, doing 20 more flat damage on every single rank, and that's gonna shred a Freya. And I am a little bit surprised to not see Metyankey go into the Witchblade start. He's actually gone for the Fatalis. Maybe he hasn't been experimenting with the new builds just yet.
Well, he's actually being forced here to have the rotation come out from Jigz to help support him and clear out this wave a little bit more. Over to the right side, and Baskin versus Divios continues as Baskin has a full wave to clear here as he was looking at picking up his own jungle.
Aror actually hanging around that left-hand side. Again, looked like he wanted to set up on Metyankey. You could just see the ward bit. Like, there is 1 ward from Eager on the right-hand side, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left-hand side. They have so much vision over there because they want to kill Metyankey. They also want to set up for these Gold Furies early on. Wrath going to be online in another 25 seconds. Gold Fury going to be spawning in another minute here, and that's what I'm assuming Eager going to look for. And SoaR can't really give up the second one for free. They need to force a fight.
And that's the 3rd time I've seen andinster over in the solo lane, still unable to get the gank off onto Divios this time round. But this is good for Eager because they've managed to cauterize this bleeding that was going on between these 2 teams and just hold on now.
And just look at this again. DJ trying to steal away the red buff. It's already down, and now he's just going to look for a setup kill onto Metyankey. But with the rotation of Jigz, it's not going to be super clean.
He's doing a good job of farming at the same time, djpernicus.
They could actually just kill the Khepri. I mean, they probably could kill the Khepri here. He doesn't have a lot of health, but it is going to be Metyankey who gets his ult off in time, and they're trying to line up the axe, and it's perfect!
But the problem is the banish is even better. There's Best coming through with space and time. Pulled back in, but there's the ult as well, coming out from Jigz. Metyankey looking for aggression as Andy comes crashing down, looking for extra damage. Aror under a lot of pressure, and Snoopy around the back looking for Zapman.
He found one, finds the second, misses the third. He's still going aggressive, but in the meantime, DJ's been able to clean up 1 kill, 1-for-1 overall, and you can see the full retreat. The solo laners have made the rotation as well, as Amaterasu and Tyr teleport in, but no one left to clean up.
But this timing is actually not too bad for SoaR here, because
does DJ know?
About to spawn as well.
DJ? Oh, well, I saw DJ running there, and Baskin thought he was going to cut him off, and I still think he's actually trying to cut him off there, but DJ just going to back in SoaR's own Harpies.
And instead, you just can see a far more from both teams. So that fight over on the left-hand side, it was all aggressed on by Ullr, especially with the rotation. And then back to SoaR. I mean, SoaR just come in, Andy comes in, Snoopy as well. Snoopy just managed to find Zapman, who got left alone in that whole engagement.
And, I mean, that's okay, right? Because both hunters die. Snoopy gets a kill, which is the big one. And I think it was djpernicus, yeah. And DJ's down 2 levels, so it was very helpful for him to be able to clean up that kill, right? Get himself a little bit on board again. 2 kills for him. Still surprisingly down a lot of gold.
Oh, in the jungle, the mighty jungle. DJ's dead tonight. The pickup onto him was free. And instead with a good wall and good follow-up from the abducts as well. You did see Divios get an assist from Baskin on getting his own blue buff there. But it all still worked out great for SoaR as they got an additional kill. Over to the mid lane now. Goes SoaR. Looking at potentially the tier 1 tower, but they're going to get a banish off on Zapman.
Oh.
Zapman half health. Zapman
what?
Deleted off the map in a second.
I don't. He just disappeared completely. Could be trouble for Divios as well. Before the silence actually gets his ult off, Baskin, recognizing he would be in a little bit of trouble trying to hang, is going to back off.
Aurora in the dream. No Wrath available. Does have Intoxicate.
He did it last game.
Andinster's going to try and go in on him. The drums of war have been started by Snoopy, looking to zone him out. The flop is down. And now they can look at the goal view, but Aurora's coming back round one more time. Space and time is fired. It's 4 members, but it won't get him the goal fury. SoaR pick it up for free.
Aurora, though, still trying to go aggressive as Divios has made the teleport in. Metyankey already burned his ult. Divios with thorns, and here comes a 2-man knockup.
Flop connects and Aurora takes 1. Intoxicate on top allows Divios to pick up Jigz as well. Right hand side, however, Baskin gets a tier 1 tower as Ullr look to strip the jungle of SoaR.
Red buff's going to be stolen away. Boars are going to be stolen away. All in all, that's probably going to come out to SoaR in favor, but it's not going to be a wide margin. Let's go to the graphs real quick. We're going to see what the difference is, and it's a big spike up, a little bit like half the spike down. Overall, though, SoaR do find themselves about 500 extra gold off that.
They do steal the red, and now they're looking at the speed buff, but Andinster's back to defend it, and on his own, going to get a double tap and go aggressive. Actually,
he's
that's
dead.
a lie. What? Snoopy was there again. Andy's doing so much damage this game.
This is absolutely brutal. This double tap into Raijin Thunder Crash combo has now deleted 2 players off of Ullr. First it was Zapman, then it was DJ. It's like, unless you have just not only your purification up, but also the most godly reaction time, you're dead. And Andy is not missing these double taps anytime soon.
Top player damage as well at 12 minutes in his Andinster right now. The double taps on the mark, followed by the Berserker Barrage, absolutely timed to perfection as well. Really comes in handy. And it's been a while since we've seen some Thor plays, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, Thor hasn't really been, I mean, he's always been meta, right? Yeah. He's always there, but we haven't really seen him prioritized by Andy or any other jungler a lot recently. But, I mean, Andy's just been able to rotate around this map, right? Put pressure onto Divios, force a lot of people out.
I know he's camping Zapman, and Zapman doesn't recognize this yet, but I don't think Andy can get in range. He can because of that banish. Double tap on the mark again. Forces the leap away, and Metyankey still giving chase.
Met has ult here.
Janus ult, though.
Oh.
Got to be scared of the best coming from the mid lane. He could have had his ultimate available to rotate round.
And yeah, and that's something Met's always going to have to be aware of. Met with 4 deaths, but on the other side, Zapman has 3 of his own. And just, I mean, at 0-4, you're like, Met's done. But he's only down about 500 gold. And that's really not too bad of a position to be in. You're kind of expected to be behind on Freya in the early game.
If he's the only one behind in his team, that's not really a bad thing. Everybody else is even or ahead of their lane opponents. And they kind of expected this SoaR now. You saw with djpernicus ganking this dual lane so often that you expect him to be behind.
Ooh. Counter ward? Okay. Goes in Snoopy's favor just barely, though. And then once again, also, Baskin, with this massive lead on Divios, we haven't really seen him rotate and make an impact. We haven't seen SoaR put pressure onto the right-hand side jungle at all. They've kind of just let Ullr come back into this. And this could be a mistake. They made the mistake in game 1 by allowing Ullr to come back into the game. They gave him a lot of leeway time. They do close out in the end, but once again, I think they have these, you know, pressure opportunities, specifically in the solo lane with Baskin having these massive leads, and they just kind of let Ullr climb back into it.
And the difference in the solo lane there is a whole item right now, because you can see the wing blade has been completed for Baskin already.
A tier 1 as well.
I don't think Divios has gone back to base yet. He's probably got a bit of gold held in his inventory here. He's trying to work out what to do, because he's clearly got a little bit more gold than he's showing.
I mean, there's a couple options for him to go. An anti-attack speed item would probably be pretty good. I think a Witchblade would actually work really well onto him. Against the Freya, Thor and Baskin going to be weaving in basics as well anytime they can. And Snoopy, right? He's going to be basicing as well.
And Snoopy swinging around towards the Gold Fury area right now. Not going to respawn for another 2 minutes just yet, but Andy looking to gank on the left-hand side on Zap one more time. He's already leapt away, and the donkey's on point. The wall, I should say. Purification used, as well as the Sanctuary to keep him alive. But Snoopy there with the taunts will secure the kill. The rest of the team being kept busy by Baskin as they try and make a rotation through the jungle.
That was absolutely well played. Divios here on the side as well. And it's going to be a tier 1 tower that they didn't take down. Andy with the Sanctuary trying to stay alive. Does get the hammer off. Met on 1 health, somehow living. Divios can't close the gap.
Got cooldowns though, and Metyankey's going to keep running. Meanwhile, at the back, Andy going in deep, looking for the steal there and find the kill, but the Khepri ultimate not going to come through and save the day. Divios answers back on Metyankey finally. Snoopy picks up
the pull! Oh my Jigz! He just completely saved the life of Snoopy. Dead to rights there. Divios had the lineup for the Fearless, but quickly the pluck comes through, crippling him out. And now Snoopy still could be in trouble though.
Aror still looking for the pickup on Snoopy. Now going to return a bit of damage back to the Bacchus. And Bacchus in a bit of trouble here. The Thunder Crusher still again. Divios back in again for a second, but Baskin is cleaning them up slowly. Zapman has now respawned. This fight has been going so long, and Divios is still trying to hold this tier 1 tower.
He was the first dead. He's going to be the first back to the fight, but SoaR going to back off there. They were able to find 3 kills there, but they do lose 2 on their own end. Andinster and Metyankey. Overall net positive, but they're not able to steal anything off of it, so it's really not that massive. Probably about the same gold lead.
Well, let's check out the graphs and just see how the experience differences between these two teams as well here. The gold lead at the moment is around 3,000, and the experience 5,000, so he's still climbing ever so slightly in favor of SoaR every single one of these fights.
Yeah, you see that though. I mean, it was a 2,500 gold lead after that Gold Fury, and in the next 6 minutes, they've only risen it by 500. This is once again a thing where Ullr have been able to just constantly answer back to everything SoaR has done. Divios also, he did have a lot of gold in his inventory, and he's actually picked up the Heartward Amulet, so he's going to be that much harder to deal with now. DJ being pressured in jungle by Baskin, forcing him back to the tier 2 towers in mid lane. The best now isolated, has to portal himself through the ground, but still going to fall down to Snoopy in the ultimate, and now it's a 4v5. I'm a little bit surprised to see Best die in that position. You can see he doesn't have the ward vision to really be making rotations like that, and SoaR have put a lot of presence into the mid lane and shown that they're not afraid to go on him both games.
Aror forced out with the flop as well, and now Gold Fury already below health by Metyankey, and andinster doing work to it right now, and he still has his ultimate available here if they want to initiate off this.
And this is just Jigz just being a nuisance with Baskin in the mid lane. Ullr can't make the rotation in because they know it's a bad fight where they'll be flanked off. Gold is done, and Andy down in mid. They've already taken out Zap.
And now they're looking at djpernicus too, potentially here under the tower with Divios back, and Aror too with a big 2-man flop in the Intoxicate. It'll slow him down for now. Metyankey swinging away on the backside, going to be very careful with that racket, and that racket is aimed at Aror's head.
Deletion. Just absolutely deleted once again. The double tap from Andinster, the thunder crash from Snoopy. DJ can't survive. 2 other members have already been taken out. It's only Divios, and he's on a long run, 1v5. And actually, they've backed off. Okay, Snoopy hits the last basic there. They all thought the kill was already gone. It's going to be a tier 1 as well, and SoaR have quickly opened up this game here. Now 6K in the lead.
Yeah, the fight's over and over again, just starting to go more and more in SoaR's favor. Now the Iron lead is more than anything else, is what I can see on terms of the Iron builds. It's crazy advantage to SoaR here.
And that was a lot of power spikes for them, right? You could see the Demonic Grip had just been finished for Metyankey. We have the Spectral Armor picked up by Jigz. Snoopy had just finished Thoth. Jotuns, and then obviously Pestilence from Baskin, who doesn't really need Pestilence, but it's just like there was all these power spikes that happened at the same time, so they forced the Gold Fury. They were able to force the fight in mid as well, and it seems to be Ullr are always fighting a man down because it always starts off with SoaR picking off one player, and Ullr do a really good job of fighting 4v5, but they just can't win it cleanly.
Well, last time SoaR got in this position was game 1, but the difference was they gave away a Fire Giant last time round, which allowed Ullr a little bit more chance of getting back into it.
But here's the thing, right? In this position last time, 18 minutes in with about a 6K gold lead, SoaR started, I think it was 20 minutes at the time though, 20 or 22. SoaR started baiting the Fire Giant, but they never committed to either going on a fight. They never committed to split pushing. They never committed to doing more gold. They kind of just let Ullr farm back into it. They need to not let Ullr farm back into game 2. They need to keep up this aggression.
And that's what they're looking to do here on the right-hand side. Now, there's no buffs in the jungle to clear, but they will clear up the ward situation and potentially look towards the Fire Giant now in this position they're in. The tier 2 tower is exposed and being looked at potentially here. In the moment, it looks like a bit of a bait in the jungle.
I think they want to steal on the speed buff. I don't know if they have the timer. They don't have a word on it right now, but Ullr know they're here now. 2-man stun into a 2-man double tap.
And the abducts on djpernicus djpernicus, and Pern can't get away. He's already dead. Snoopy looking for the ult through the wall and gets it on the best with Raijin. The Fearless comes out from Divios, but the banish from Metyankey on point. Divios can't do anything on the front, and forced out is Divios. To the sky goes Metyankey to secure that kill. Turns his attention towards the Raw, looking for the double.
Baskin under tower as well. Zapman's going to have the Sanctuary still stunned out, though. He's not going to be CC immune. He's trying to run in circles, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be all 5. SoaR deicide deep into Ullr's jungle. They're going to be able to take both these tier 2s and probably the Phoenixes as well.
And that was them just looking for a pick in the jungle and got a wall on 2 members of Ullr. They both got taken out, and by that, Ullr said enough is enough. Let's call it a day. SoaR 2-0 Ullr.
So, I mean, we talked about it at the beginning of the set. This was going to be, let's see how strong these teams truly are. And SoaR, it seems like they've finally started to click. A much better performance from them than I think we saw, you know, against LG. Everyone's firing on all cylinders. We're seeing a lot of rotational powers. And it's just overall, I mean, it's very hard to fight into SoaR's composition when they have these aggressive characters like Raijin, like the Bacchus Raijin, the Susano Raijin, and even that game as well, the Thor Raijin. Like, they just have so much presence all over the map.
It just felt like 4 minutes in was the big talking point between those two teams. That one crazy fight across all the map, because you had solo laners going at it, mid lane we had a little gang too, and then the dual lane of Aror and Zapman going aggressive and getting it turned on.
Well, even then, like, Ullr were still in an okay spot. I mean, that was great for SoaR, obviously, getting off to a strong start. But it just, I go back to djpernicus, and, you know, we didn't really talk about it too much, but his farm is very lackluster across most of his games. I don't know what it is. He just tries so hard to set up his teammates for success and set up ganks, and sometimes he does get that, but and a lot of times he just gets very far behind. I believe we took note when he was 2-0-1 versus Andy, who was 0-0 and down like 600 gold.
Well, you mentioned andinster, and andinster had a good couple of games in both those 2 sets overall. The Thor in game 2 was a fantastic performance from him especially, but in game 1 the Susano not too bad either.
It was really just setting up these kills onto the best, you could see, and this is just the jet stream outplay. Just finds the knock-up, finds the pull away from the portal, buys enough time for the Sanctuary to end, gets the jet stream, chased through the portal in here. I mean, we saw the walls into the double taps all game from Andy.
Yeah, he just continues to run down and chase people down both games as well. Multiple plays from the Thor that had a fantastic performance.
I mean, overall, SoaR looking really scary, and them in denial. I mean, that is going to be, I'm not exactly sure when they play, but when they play, that will probably be the best matchup of these online stages.
Also, look at the efficiency charts between those 2 teams as well for the second game. You saw the first one, and there's a bit of a difference there, a bit of a quicker game between the 2, but still, SoaR dominating both.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the numbers aren't as high, very short game. Overall, though, I mean, SoaR, we just saw them continuously win fights. Ullr got a couple picks in the early game, but once the train started rolling, SoaR got that Gold Fury, and then once andinster set up, I mean, it was really through andinster we saw so many setup plays. Look at that, most damage in the game, 13K at a, you know, what was the time frame at the end there? Like 20 minutes, somewhere
minutes,
around there.
I want to say.
But yeah, I mean, he really just set up so many plays, finding best, finding finding the best and Zapman typically in the jungle.
Yeah, and actually that last kill of the game, Pernicus and Best both getting hit by that wall double tap. That was the nail in the coffin, so to speak, of Ullr's chances today. Well, guess what? We do have a young man on the phone. Snoopy is joining us, one of the new members of SoaR. Snoopy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thank you very much. First thing to talk about, you played Raijin today. Why no Hunters?
Well, I just didn't really see the need to play Hunters at that point in time. It's not that I can only play Hunters, or at least I think so. If the situation calls for a Hunter, I'll play it. If the situation calls for a Mage, I'll play it.
All right, talk to me a little bit about game 1, because we saw you guys get off to a pretty strong lead. You had 19-5 in kills, about a 7K gold lead, but you kind of let Ullr fight into it from our perspective. Was that, like, what was the plan going in there for those Fire Giant baits?
It was really tough. They had, so a normal team, you bait them in and you try to kill them, but they had so many ways of getting away. That Sobek Dash, Janus ult, Jingwei, all that stuff. It's so hard to bait them in and lock them down. And we really made a mistake when we tried to force the issue and secure it over the Sobek ult. I don't know really why we did that, and it was obviously a mistake. And we tried to play it more slowly and get the perfect engage with Baskin split pushing, and it ended up working out.
All right, question for game 2. How much do you love Jigz? Because I think I saw him save you like 7 times.
Jigz is definitely the best support in the SPL right now, in my opinion. And he always prioritizes like other people, and it's just so nice to have on your team.
One question for you as well then, Snoopy. Obviously, with this season, a lot of people have high hopes for your team, and talk about you guys being a potential top team. What do you guys think about yourselves?
I think we're going to do fantastic. I think we're almost past that rough period where we're a newer team getting used to each other. And once we get locked down with each other's synergy and each other's playstyles, I think we'll be next to unbeatable.
So you guys feel like you're still having some kinks with maybe communication there, or what is it?
A little bit, but we're working through it, and it's pretty much all figured out.
Who are you most excited to play for the rest of at least these online stages?
I don't really know. I guess Denial will be a good match, just because it's the new mid lane versus the old mid lane.
You don't want to play against Enemy? You're not excited about Enemy? No?
I mean, if Panda Cat's gonna be back, that'll be a good game.
Oh, well, we'll see. Snoopy, thanks so much for joining us. Any shout-outs you want to give today?
Not really.
Cool.
But
not even to your team.
But thanks for having me.
Maybe your Twitter,
sponsor,
maybe your Twitch,
team, fans.
Okay, no, sponsor. SoaR's awesome. SoaR's a great work. Not hi-rez Studios,
Pecky's.
but at SoaR General and at Pecky's.
At Pecky's.
That's about it.
Thank you so much for joining us, Snoopy. Good luck in the rest of the league. Good performance from SoaR there with the
dominating.
big 2-0 to round out today as well. Fantastic performance.
And tomorrow we've got some games going on as well. We move over to Europe. Dignitas taking on Cyclone GG, Cringe Crew taking on Fantastic, and 2 recently picked up rosters, formerly Panthera, now Energy, and formerly Leftovers, now Sanguine.
And then finally rounding that out as well will be Paradigm versus Hungry for More. Some very interesting, spicy matches over in Europe. So you can see the points there. Hungry for More currently top. They could continue that trend.
Also, guys, this is all leading up, to the LAN stages, which eventually leads to Super Regionals. And finally, hi-rez Expo. SWC is going to be hosted there live. You can go buy your tickets now, hi-rezexpo.com. Get them in before they sell out.
Not just Smite on PC, Smite on console as well of other hi-rez games, including Paladins will be there as well for your viewing pleasure, and maybe me and Kevin too.
I haven't decided yet. I'm still debating it. I don't know if I'm really feeling this year.
Okay, so both Tolly and Janus not going to be going to Worlds, it seems, or at least not thinking about it. I'll be there, that's for sure, anyway. But for
maybe I'll come. Maybe I'll come.
That's pretty much it for the end of today. But don't forget, we have Europe again tomorrow, as we just mentioned. Have a wonderful rest of your evening from everybody at hi-rez Studios.
For the Smite World Championship, the journey that these teams took here was one for the ages.
It's been a crazy year, and it's all led to this. Teams across the globe will take to the battleground of the gods to fight not just for the prize money, but title of the best Smite team in the world.
Welcome to the Smite World Championship!